I just want to talk a little bit about myself. I am Scott Dotson. I'm pilot mountain Airgunner. I'm just a guy that has, basically my flash pup is pretty much all I shoot. We have an AT-44 and even some air pistols. Air pistols, I can't shoot. My hands are messed up. I'll get into that here in a moment. But anyway, there's a lot of videos out there about air gunners on a budget and stuff like that, and I totally get it. But myself and other friends that I have, people that I hang around that shoot and stuff like that, we're on a real budget, and that's not just to say others aren't on a budget as well. Most people are. Everybody, if you want to have anything. Especially like me, we have kids. You have to budget. But see, with me, it's a little different. I'm disabled. I've got a few autoimmune disorders, musculoskeletal disorder. Things are kind of rough. So it makes it kind of hard for me doing stuff. Same with making my videos and stuff like that. And that's kind of the reason I'm making this. I do it because it's a hobby, and I'm looking out my window as I'm turning here because it's raining outside, and that's where I was shooting at to make the previous video. But either way, I'm going to do what I can. I'm on a budget. I'm using an old cell phone that has not much memory. I can shoot a couple of videos. I can't even upload them. I've got to Bluetooth them onto my computer and then put them together. But I also have an old Kindle. It's the same deal. I can't do much with it. But I'm on a budget. I save my money. I started off with a 30 caliber, the Hatsan break barrel. It broke me literally. I had that sucker cocked down. It got loose and came up and cracked me in my ribs. Oh, it cracked a few of my ribs. But either way, I got lucky, and that gun had an issue. So I had to send it back, and then I saved my money, and I got my flash pup, and it fits me perfect. I can hold it in because my shoulders flat out, so like I could just straighten them. I got musculoskeletal disorder, so my joints and stuff. Yeah, I'm all screwed up now, but kind of wobble around on this and that, whatever. But either way, as far as videos and stuff like that, I will try to do as much as I can do. I'm limited. My body lets me do, but so much, I'm hard-headed. So sometimes I'm going to get up and do it anyway. Depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling good, well, if I'm making a video, I'm feeling good. So, just the simple things in life for me are difficult, especially when I first get up. It takes me hours and hours to get ready. Simple stuff, putting on my socks just to brush my teeth or get my clothes on and stuff like that can be really difficult at times. So it takes me a while to get myself moving and going stuff, and some days I can't. So either way, especially all you people out there, people with disorders or whatever, man, don't worry about I know in a lot of the forums and stuff like that, you have a lot of snobs and this and that. If you like your air gun and you're into air guns, who cares? I mean, I've got one air gun that I like to shoot. My others, even the pistols, I can't pull the trigger anymore. All these ukuleles, the reason we even started getting these things is I start my videos playing guitar because I went through a period, I was in working out, I was big, I was muscular, I always kept muscle on me because I have Crohn's disease, and it'd always eat the muscle off of me. It happened several times to where I got to a point now I can't do anything. I can't work out and put the muscle on. So either way, I gotten down. I was so tired. I couldn't hold my guitar anymore. My fingers were at such a wreck I couldn't use them anymore. And I gotten the ukulele for my birthday, and that was the start because I couldn't play anymore. And it was tiny, and I could hold it. So that got me moving to where I could get, as I got stronger and stronger, to where I can able to pick up my guitar. I still really can't do much with it, and that's the reason I start my videos with it, because it's just doing something that I once got to a point that I couldn't do, here a few years ago. I mean, it was. I've been through with these autoimmune disorders. I'm almost dying several times, crap like that. So either way, what I'm saying, I don't care what's wrong with you. If you've got, I don't care what it is. If you enjoy shooting your guns, man, go out and do what you want to do. See, I have issues with my neighbors, but either way, um, back to what I was saying with my videos and stuff. I'm going to do what I can do to get the videos out. I'm on a budget, and a budget means, it took me over a year to save the money to get my flash pup. I use a $42 hand pump that I got off eBay. I am able to I use my body weight and drop it, um, so that works for me. There's some people out there, my back's been messed up since I was like 14. It's just a lot of the stuff, if I'm not in too bad of pain or whatever, there's a lot of people that are messed up that can't do it. And I get it. So that's going to be more expensive than trying to get into tanks and stuff like that. Eventually, I will buy me a tank, and things can go a lot smoother. But between every little shot that I do, the power that I have it turned up on right now, I have to go in and I refill it every time. Which, it's good for me. I like to be able to move and get my blood pumping, and it makes my body feel better. Of course, I pinch nerves everywhere every time I'm moving around. But once I'm warmed up, it's not as bad. Either way, airgunning on a budget. This is it. I mean, my budget's even higher than some friends of mine. They've got just break barrels, but they hunt with them and they do great. So if you're into them, you're into them. That's just the way it is. I hunted with one. My dad was a coon hunter, and I spent a lot of time in the woods with a gun, pellet rifle. When I was a kid, I used to rabbit hunt. Rabbit hunting. I got my first rabbit with my dad with a pellet rifle. I think it was a 7.66. Actually, my brother's. He really wasn't interested into it. He was big into sports, but not into hunting and stuff. And so I drug it around with me all the time as a kid. But that's what when I went looking at guns again, trying to find me something I could shoot, because I can't handle the recoil. It knocks my shoulders out. I mean, anything I can reach up too high, my shoulder comes out. It's just me. That's how I am. So if I'm yelling every now and then on my videos or cussing, I get mad. That's just the way it is, and that shit hurts. So anyway, what was I talking about? Back up here. Yeah, my brother's pellet gun. But he didn't drag it around, and I drug it around and shot it a lot. And as I got older, I was wanting to shoot again. A good little gun just for pests and stuff like that in the yard. And even the air pistols, some of them, I can't pull the trigger. My hand is not strong enough. I got one in there. It's like 2 pounds. It's huge for me. So anyway, I got the flash pup, and it worked real well for me. I saved my dollars, but when I went looking on the market, it was like, holy cow, would you look at these guns today? And I really got back into it. I started with the break barrel, and that didn't work out well for me, and I moved into the flash pup, and I absolutely love the gun. Now, as far as flaws with the gun, yeah, there's issues that I have with the gun. I don't have the gun sitting with me right now, but the cocking bolt, I can't stand the cocking bolt. That's just the truth. The new flash that's coming out for 2019 is it's got a different cocking bolt on it. But the reason I don't like it is because I took mine apart and cleaned it and deburred it and cranked up the power. If you see my first video, that's what I done. So anyway, with the bolt on it, when I took it apart, when I first took the handle out on it, there's metal shavings around all the the screw holes on the bolt. When you take it out, it's threaded on the end around the threads, and there was metal shavings, and I peeled them off. So it was basically stripped out to a point, a little bit, when I got it. I put it back in. I got it tightened. I don't really want to. I might put something in there to keep it from moving, because because of my hands, it made it there for a while. I couldn't cock it. It hurt me really bad, and I kind of got to where I'm able to cock it. But I'd put a different stuff on the bolt, it doesn't work. It don't let it go down, and as you go up, it needs to spin. And you cock it, it would grip it, and it would spin it, and after a couple of spins, it'd come out, and I have to screw it back in, which I didn't like that. So I can't put anything on it to make it a little bigger and easier for my hands to hold. And as long as you've got it tightened down, I'm going to probably put something on it. I hate to, because I do take it apart or open it up and stuff like that, and you have to take that off of it if I get in there cleaning and stuff like that. But either way, I don't like that. And the metal is super, super soft on this stuff. It's, along the track where the bolt runs, you can see where it's wearing a little bit. The same thing with on the inside. My trigger had issues with the pins down by the trigger itself. Not the trigger, the trigger mechanism in the back. You take it out. Problem with the pins just falling out. I did find when I took it apart working on mine, most pins, they go in the same direction. You have a large hole on one end and a smaller hole, and you can look at the pin and you can see it, and one was put in correctly and one was put in the other way incorrectly, and it bored out the hole. But the other part I haven't touched, that I'm talking about, the pins fall out. The pins fall out. I did hear from Brothers in Air. Check out his channel. He's got a fantastic channel. He's doing a lot of work on the FlashPup and stuff like that. But to take them and tap them with something, just slight bend in them, and you can put them back in there, so they got a little bend, and they'll hold better, because I don't want to have to put anything on Loctite or anything like that. So, once you start taking these apart, you do have to realize this is a budget gun, and this came out, one of the new budget guns, just last year. It's a powerhouse. It's a powerhouse, but at the same time, it's got its limitations, and that's my only issues is stuff like that. But like I was saying, it's put together. People who probably, they're working minimum wage, they're working a job, blah, blah, blah. They're not worried about it too much. There's new people working on them. I found the issues with mine, with the pins being put in the wrong way. There's little things like that you have to deal with. The same thing with the metal. It's going to be a softer metal that you're working with, because it's softer, it's lighter, a lot of things like that. But other than that, as far as an actual, I love it. I love it. I love the gun, and that's the one I'm going to use until maybe someday I can get me a different one, a more expensive one. I like to have one where I can adjust and tweak and stuff like that very easily. Go out target shooting and adjust and tweak. But in the meantime, you're dealing with an old cell phone for videos that can barely hold memory, and an old Kindle. I'm doing what I can do. I can't always turn my camera sideways so I can get the full view like I have right now. A lot of times I have to, like shooting the targets or different things in the way I hold my hands are. I have a little thing on the back so I can move it around. But, I'm sorry about that. That's just what I'm dealing with for right now. Eventually, things are looking, we're even in a rent home, but we are headed towards, finally, after 10 years of getting us a home and some land. So that's what we're waiting on. So, a lot of my shooting videos are going to probably be 40 yards, 25 yards, testing things. Other than that, it's going to be anything hunting. I have friends and stuff. When it does warm up, the weather's warmed up and everything's not soaking wet all the time, we can get a lot of that in. For now, it's going to be a lot of testing, seeing what I can do with the gun, what it likes to shoot. It'll shoot a lot of stuff. I have found turning the power up and down makes a huge difference. As you'll watch other videos about it. I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy recording a hobby that I enjoy. So I do thank everybody. I really appreciate everybody who watches, and I'll probably be around for a while. There's this white piece of paper. I'm sorry about the traffic and the noise, but that's where I live. I'm just set up in my yard. It's the most yardage I can get, so this is what we're working with. Hey, Scott Dawson here. I am Pilot Mountain Airgunner. I'm sitting inside my blind. Yes, it's noisy. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to get some shots here with the FlashPup. I'm going to be using the Nielson Slugs, 44, 39, and 34 grain. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the 55, but since I've painted this gun, I have not sighted it in. I did come out and take a few shots with 39 grainers. It's shooting high. That's since I've turned it up as well. It's shooting high, which it should be. It should be, but we'll find out how it's going to shoot, and hopefully I've got my fingers crossed that these are going to be really good slugs for this thing to shoot. You know, if that's the deal, that's what I'll shoot through them. 40 yards I guess is pretty good. So if I can get the camera to work properly, it's giving me issues today, but we'll go ahead and get this done. So the 34 grain, it didn't like at all. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but that's 40 yards. So not looking so good. We're going to try the 39 and the 44. I don't know. It may be the speed. But what I am going to do is turn it down later after this test and find out what I can find. Alright, of course my camera gave out. But I want to show you what we have here. Now, I did have the video of the man, this little monster here is heavy. That target is heavy. You've seen the Nielson Slugs, okay? Actually, let me get a tape measure. I was supposed to have all this stuff ready, but you know, I didn't. You know, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. You know, we're talking 2 inches, a good 2 inches. Yeah. And this way, you know, still, it's not great. That'd be an inch. Either way, here is how the 34 grains came out. Same thing. I don't know. I need to probably stop shooting. A lot of times when I shoot, before I do anything, I'll shoot off 2 shots because they're always a lot weaker. But I didn't do that, and I'm wondering if that's creating an issue. Either way, 34 grains, they didn't do really worth shit either. I mean, you're talking 2 inches at 40 yards. But this is what I like pretty well, because a lot of this movement could well be me, because I took 7 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what I'm noticing is as the power goes down, it starts getting more centered in the center. So, of course, that's what all this testing is about. The FlashPup is not, you know, it's a choked barrel. It's not designed to shoot slugs, but at a slower speed, which I'm finding out other people are using, like the Yunjins, and they are shooting fantastic at the slower speeds. But this is looking really good. You know, 40 yards. I don't have a sandbag or anything. It's on a bipod on a shaky plastic table. Again, budget shooting. I can do better than that, definitely. But if you look at it, it's not too bad. Now, a measurement, you got 1.25 inches. Well, let me look at it here. Yeah, it's 1.25 inches that way, which is still too much for 40 yards, but you got 2 inches the other way. Even not tuned in for this, I believe you can bring this group way in by slowing the speed down to this one. You know, and I'll show you why here in just a minute. But even this at 40 yards, man, dude, that's a kill shot. That's a kill shot on a coyote, on a body shot. Not a problem. Not a problem. You know, I'm shooting at these targets that are the size of a dime. I wasn't sighted in. If you know, you've seen the beginning of the video. Either way, this is what impressed me. Let me show you this. I wasn't even going to shoot these or video the 55 grain because I had heard from other people. You know, it's too heavy. They're no good. Well, I understand that. For long yardage, you know, right now I'm not impressed with anything. But again, like I said, let me turn the gun down and play with it. What I was doing is trying to get my scope sighted back in. I got done with the shooting and everything, and I said, well, I shot 20 shots with the JSB 25.39 grain magazine. I was working on it, sighting in. I was finally starting to get it sighted in because I was off by 3 miles. That's just the truth. But I figured I wanted to pop off some of those 55 grainers. Now check this out. There was one of the JSBs hit that spot right there. But there are 1, 2, 3 shots. One of them in the center here is JSB. 4, 5 with the 55 grainers at 40 yards after 20 shots. So that's telling me, I mean, they're already moving kind of slow, but the power that they're carrying at 40 yards, I have to look it up, and I'll post it on here when I get into chair gun and see what kind of power it's still pushing at 40 yards. Guesstimate, because I know it's moving slow. They're moving in the 600s, but still yet, I think if we can get this, and I know the Yunjins will shoot at a slower speed, I believe I might be able to tighten this 39 grainer up to the point that I should be able to take this daggone thing out with a magazine. So that impressed me very much, seeing I'm still amazed because yeah, they were slow, but again, it's how much power they're carrying. That has a whole lot to do with it too. So I'm going to work on the 39 grainers. The 34 grainers, you know, they didn't impress me at all. They went all over the place. It was shot like here and then here and then here, and then the same thing. I really wanted the 44 grain to turn out really well, just because of the fact that I know the Yunjins will shoot at a closer distance, you're fine. You're fine. Just take this, shoot a couple of shots. Mine shoots better probably from 175 down. Alright, y'all. Appreciate you watching. I'll be back with some more testing. Peace out.